Welcome to Masterclass Monday. I'm Ibarra, the winner of the LetterOne Rising Star Jazz Award 2017. The aim of the LetterOne Rising Star Jazz Award is to find and support outstanding jazz talent, and since its launch in 2017, has been endorsed by many world-class jazz stars, including Jamie Cullum, George Benson, and many others. The winners are awarded concerts at major festivals around the world. I have played at Nice Jazz Festivals in France or Open Stuttgart in Germany, among others. This year events have taken a different course and the jazz industry is on pause, festivals have been cancelled and were postponed. But worse, still millions of people have been forced to self-isolate and children are mostly unable to go to school. So we thought that if you can't come to see us play, we would come to you to have some fun and try to encourage you to play in your own home. And perhaps through this we can help nurture your love of music. As well as encourage you to pick up an instrument and play with me, I would also like to commemorate the life of some of those who have been lost to COVID-19. I hope that today I can bring some light, fun and rhythm into your life and inspire you to be positive and creative. So feel free to play along. Well, for those who don't know me, I'm Tom. I'm a French guitarist and composer. I started to play the guitar at the age of 6 years old after seeing my grandfather playing the guitar while I was in holidays at my grandparents' home. So I started to take some lessons, maybe for 2 years. 3 years, I don't remember because it's very far away. I was not happy at this time at school in particular because for me school was like a jail. So I associated school with learning, which is not a good thing. So I was not really involved into music lessons. So very quickly I stopped. Unfortunately. Then I studied with my grandfather and by myself, so it was more having fun than studying. Later in 2015 I started to play in festival with my first band. I recorded my first album called 15 because I was 15 years old at this time. After that, in 2017, I recorded my second album called Sparkling, which is also a tune in that album where my colleague is playing on. So if you want to check it out, feel free. This same year, at the end of 2017, I won the LetterOne Rising Star Jazz Award. I've been touring for the first time in Europe, so it was amazing to play Sparkling, this new album in Europe. So yeah, good memories. In 2019, we've been touring in China, in Lithuania, in many countries around the world. So we had a very great year once again. And at the end of 2019, in October, we've been recording a very new album, which is coming out in 2021. So we are still working on it actually, so yeah, we have to wait for it. Well, the first record I listened to was Surfing the Aliens from Joe Satriani, which is very far from what I'm doing actually with my band, but I still love it, of course. After that, my first guitar hero was Jimi Hendrix, and after watching the live at Woodstock, I remember that I wanted to play for an audience, but I could not. So I built a stage, but it was only chairs, so 3 chairs, so it was ridiculous. And I was just standing on it and playing but in front of me it was not an audience, it was only a wall. The first jazz guitarist I listened to was Wes Montgomery, and it's still a reference for me and for every jazz guitarist, I think, and not only in jazz. I watched an interview where Jimi Hendrix talked about Wes Montgomery, and he said that he's an influence for him too. So I think, yeah, Wes Montgomery is of course a legend in jazz, but someone that you have to hear, you have to listen to. I also listen to Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock, Pat Metheny, a lot of people. Also, if you want to be a musician, I think it's really important to expand your vocabulary and to interest yourself to a lot of kind of music, because if you are focused on only one kind of music, for example, I don't know, reggae, it's not very good, because it's good to have an opinion on what happens in the world. So I listen to James Brown, to a lot of things like classical music. I'm a huge fan of Bach, Ravel, Chopin, of course, but also pop music like James Blake, of course, Bon Iver, Sunlux. I'm really interested by pop music because I think it's more simple to understand that kind of music, and this is why we call it pop music. But what is magical sometimes with that kind of music is the energy and the intention. James Blake, for example, or Bon Iver, they don't do anything really hard to play, or you know what I mean. But it's always about the color of the music, the construction of every element in the music, and the intention, what they give to the music. So I like this this approach of the music. I also like contemporary music with Philip Glass, or I'm a huge fan of Steve Reich. My favorite guitar player are Julian Lage, because I really love his very clear sound, really simple, only his Telecaster, his amplifier, and nothing more. He just has maybe 2 or 3 pedals, so that's nothing compared to many guitarists, including myself. So yeah, I really like his approach to the music, and also he has a classical background, so I really like to feel and to hear this classical culture in his game. I also love Kurt Rosenwinkel. I'm a huge fan of him because I love his sounds, because he has many sounds, and the way he build a phrase, the way he think the music, his melodic ideas, harmonic ideas. So yeah, I really love him, and I also like Pedro Martins. They recorded 2 albums together. The one is Vox on Pedro's album, and Kaipi, which is Kurt's album. Well, music is about 3 things: the sound, the time or the tempo, and harmony. The most important thing to know is the sound, and the most important thing to have, because this is the first thing that people will hear. This is the sound, the way the note will sound, not the note himself. So this is why mixing an album, for example, is so important, and how I want to make it sound, the guitar, the piano, everything. And if I'm talking about the instrument, if you are, for guitar player, if you are working at home, I think it's really important to have a good sound without any effects, because we all want to play with great reverb, a delay, a distortion, I don't know, anything, but it's hiding mistakes and your defaults, so it won't help you at first to improve your playing. So in my opinion, it's really important when you start, or even if you are working at home. Actually, when I'm working on something, when I'm working techniques, or I don't know, I'm working without anything, because I want to force myself to get a good sound without anything, to just plug my guitar everywhere without anything and to sound great. So this is my goal at first. If you want to expand your vocabulary and your vision of the music, I think it's really important to listen to a lot of instrumentists. If you are a guitar player, it's not very good if you only inspire yourself from guitar player. Personally, I listen to pianists and saxophonists like Keith Jarrett, Brad Meldo, or I don't know, Ben Wendell, actually. So yeah, it's really important. And if you hear, for example, Keith Jarrett, you can hear his in folk influence, and he said that he's been really influenced by saxophone player and guitar player. So yeah, it's really important to me to be inspired by other instrumentists. About trying to get your sound, it's not a bad thing if you just copy your heroes. If I talk about me, I was a huge fan of Pat Metheny when I was 14 years old, and I wanted to play like him, and even physically I was playing, just like this, and I turned my pick like this, not playing with the normal part of the pick, because he's playing like that. So yeah, I was doing everything like him, but after, when you want to, when you know every aspect from your heroes, you can do something else, and I think it's better to me if you copy at first and then trying to get your own sound. The second element is about rhythm and tempo. So the way you will play a note, the way you will play a note inside the music. So it's really important, because if I play something funky, I will try to be exactly on the tempo. it's like like a drummer, you know. So let's try to do it. But in jazz, for example, it's really different because the band will play in a very special way. The double bass will drive the music and the tune, and with the drum, and the saxophonist or the voice, I don't know, the one who plays the melody and the improvisation will play laid back. So it will create a contrast between these two parts of the band. If I try to play Other Things You Are, which is a jazz standard, I will try to play this way. The third point is about harmony. So harmony is how you make the elements going together, how it sounds, and what happened if I put this note with this note with this note, and then it creates a chord. So this is harmony. It creates a color. So that's music. If you want and if you are interested into improvisation, if I could give you some advices, the first one would be listen to music, of course. The best way to expand your vocabulary is inspire yourself from others, because you can't learn from you, in fact, or you can't learn a lot from you. So it's really important to every day, if you can do it every day, it's better. Maybe listen an album every day if you have 45 minutes each day to spend. I think it's a good thing. And of course, listen every kind of music, because you can inspire your improvisations from everything. Not only jazz musicians, or you can inspire yourself from so much things. Something really important is breathe, because this is not a rush. You don't need to play a phrase for 1 or 2 minutes, and nobody will like this. So this is why it's really important to listen to horns, for example, because they can't play a phrase for forever. They have to stop and to breathe. So this is why you have to inspire, because this is not good if you play Okay, just relax. You know, you can let some space. Let some space, like. Well, so if you don't have a very large vocabulary, something that can be good is to repeat a phrase. I remember an introduction of an improvisation of Michel Petrucciani, where he only plays one note for maybe 40 or 50 seconds, and it's unbelievable because it's so groovy. It just make it groovy. So that's very good. Let's try it with one note at first. So after that you can add one or two notes. No. And after that you can just play a phrase. It's really frustrating to hear only one or two or three notes, and we want more. So this is why it's sometimes good to frustrate and then play a phrase like. When you learn a tune, the most important thing to know is the melody, because the melody is what people will remember from a tune, and of course it's everything in the tune comes from the melody, so the chords and the bass line. So at first, to know the melody is the most important thing. Also, when you improvise, you can you can play some notes of the melody, or if you are not very comfortable with a tune, you can just turn around the melody to build an improvisation. Secondly, when you are learning a tune, listening to the bass is really important to understand what's happening and why to understand chords changing. If you want to hear a 2-5-1, at first I will listen to the bass. So it's really important because every chord comes from the bass. So, and the bass can give a color to a chord, so it's really important. So before the end of this video, I would like to talk about my gear. So I'm using this head, which is a DV Micro 50 CMT from DV Mark, which is great. So I'm working with them for maybe 4 years now, 3 years. So that's very good, and I know that we all want some old stuff, you know, like Fender Twin Reverb, you know, things like that. But they are doing some very, very good amplifiers. So yeah, just right. Of course, for the guitars, I'm playing with an Ibanez AR2619 for 3 years now, and I'm very happy with that. With this, sorry. Yeah, I like the shape of this guitar. I like the sound. You can play a lot of things with that kind of guitars. So this is my pedal board. Just here, this is the volume pedal. This is the tuner, the compressor. So I use the compressor to compress my signal. So if you want to reduce the dynamics, so I use it when I'm doing some funky stuff or things like that. So that's pretty cool. Just here, this is the overdrive. So it gives to your sound a distortion. I don't use it to get a lead sound, so I use it just a little bit to get something dirty on my sound. So this is my clear sound. Sorry. And this is the overdrive. So that's very cool. This is the Puck 2 from Electro-Harmonix, which is an octaver. That's very cool. You can do some stuff like that. Or so that's very nice. Just here, you have the freeze from Electro-Harmonix. This is a sound retainer. So you play a chord or a note, and then it will freeze this note or this chord. So that's very nice when you want to improvise. You play a chord and then you improvise on it. So Kurt Rosenwinkel, do it, Gilad, Excelman, so many guitarists. The Boss DD 500. So that's a delay. That's very nice. So I use it like this. But there is many ways to use it, of course. And this is the reverb. This is an immerse reverberator, sorry, from the neighbor. So that's very cool. There is many ways to use it once again. So this is this is my pedal board. Hope you enjoy it, and that's it. Thank you. I do hope you've had some fun, and look forward to seeing you. And if you wish to make a donation to the Pasteur Institute, there is a donate button below this video. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you, bye bye.